So remember one time I was sat in the car and my mother was driving, and she was all angry, she was all over the place, and she was the exact thing that I would call explosive feminine. She would beep every single person she would see on the street. She would be going extremely fast when she gets angry. She is an extremely feminine entity. It isn't just my mother. You've also got my sister, who continually engages with her emotions and usually speaks her mind. And you've also got my father, unfortunately, that is, who's always moaning and complaining, always crying about what he can't control. And I sit right there in the last seat of the car, and I'm a stoic. I can listen to all this femininity. I can be sat in a place like a sea while being a rock. Because a rock is unchanged. It's a stone, it's stoic. And so you see, in our world, we are fed a lot of bullshit about what's actually masculine and what's feminine. We are told that what's masculine is the guy who's all angry and he's all scary and he's like, oh, like he's shouting at people. That's what's masculine. And we're told feminine is like this proper cute shy thing. That's feminine. We were given personas as masculine and feminine. But then again, you might fit in between those. And so the whole concept that we've been given is not the real thing. The real thing is actually something a little bit deeper. It goes into a bit more of a spiritual realm. Masculinity is unchanged, and femininity is change. So let's go into these like by order. So masculinity, or I probably should start with femininity. Femininity is basically anything that is change. It is everything that is change. Remember how my father was complaining and moaning? That's him change. That's constant change. That's explosiveness. You've got my mother who's shouting at people and who's driving really fast and she's angry. She's engaging with her emotions. That's change. My sister who's giggling from here and there, who speaks her mind. That's also change. And of course, I do have to tell you this. We don't stay as one thing. So you might be mostly masculine because you mostly don't change, but then you might still change at a moment. And that is a feminine behavior. But then that doesn't mean that you aren't behavior like you are feminine. It's on a spectrum. It's not really like how you think about it. And so going back to femininity, it's basically just change. Anything that is change. And do note, these two terms can be placed on objects as well. They're not just on humans. So you might see a cat who's, like sat there and all the other cats are fighting. He's just sat there and he's doing nothing. Well, he's a stoic, isn't he? Well, you would be precisely right. Because he's faced with so many change, he could engage. He's not engaging. That's unchanged. And this is really how it is. The feminine will keep provoking the masculine. And this isn't exactly a bad thing. This is a really good thing. And now I think we can jump into the main meaning of masculine. So masculinity is basically unchanged. It is being surrounded by so much chaos and change, and yet refusing to just change yourself. So I could be sat here and I could be shouting, I could be moving all over the place like this, and that shouldn't affect you. You should be as you are. Like, if your father is screaming at you, you should be just as you were 2 minutes ago. And if all the group is laughing, you should have the ability to not laugh. You're just like there. And this is what we call Stoicism, or masculinity. And so, knowing these two terms, you can clearly understand, I said this sentence before, but I think I'll repeat it here. The feminine will always challenge and want to change the masculine, because femininity is change. Like when your family keep arguing, that is a feminine behavior, but it's very contagious. Like it would just be one of your family members who's really upset, and then they upset one of the other family members, and then the two family members are upset, and then they come at you, and here's where it gets a little tricky. Because if you engage, now you're only going to be more contagious to others. And of course, I must note, it isn't always just with anger. So it's not always just anger. I'm giving anger as an example because anger is something that we can clearly see. Like, it's an emotion that's very loud. Like, when it occurs, it's very loud emotion. And like, that's the main reason why I mention it. Like, if I said sadness, well, yeah, of course. Like, if you saw your sister crying, well, that would, of course, that would sadden you. But then you must have the ability to stay as you are, and that's Stoicism. And many people will think Stoicism is being heartless, when in fact it isn't being heartless. It's simply having the ability to be unchanged by what is happening, keeping or maintaining a cool head. And then again, you need to understand this. The world, it will continually test you and will continually want to change you. That's just how it is. Like, I'll tell you the story. This morning, yesterday I slept at about maybe 10 p.m. And I slept till about 2:30 a.m. But throughout that last hour, like, bro, I don't know. I feel like there's some shit walking on me. And I just can't stand it, and I immediately go out of bed. And basically what happens is I research it a bit more, and it turns out there's things called bed bugs. And my bed is full of those. But now I could have been sat here and I could have been screaming and shouting and doing all my shit and like breaking the whole fucking living room, right? Instead I was like, it is what it is, and I just slept. And I'll tell you this story right now. Like, I was just recording this video, right? And you were watching this video. And out of nowhere, like, it's just the world continually keeps testing you. And that's just how it is. And out of nowhere, I was just, like, my father came in, and so I had to move out, right? And this is how the world operates. You will continually be faced with challenges from the feminine, because the feminine will continually challenge you. And the main key lesson here is just to learn how to remain stoic. Just learn to say it is what it is and move along and have a better solution. That's just how Stoicism works, and that's how you become more stoic. Now, I probably should make another video talking about how you become more stoic and how you can actually develop this skill, because it is a skill. But till then, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So I just kind of want to tell about my coaching really quick. So basically, I do private one-to-one coaching calls where I help you to optimize for whatever area of your life you want to optimize for. So perhaps you want to gain more strength and control over your emotions. You want to become more stoic. I can help you with this stuff because I've gone through this myself. And if it's anything like any other area that you want to optimize for, perhaps it's maybe health, maybe it's fitness, maybe it could be just as simple as starting a business. I can help you with all these things because I did these myself. If you're interested, I'll leave my Instagram as the first link in the description. You can DM me to learn more. But in any case, that's kind of what I want to go through. Make sure to subscribe if you want to show me that you're part of the tribe, that you're committed to the message, that you actually want to become more stoic, and that you're sick of the fucking we go through and that we have to deal with this shit. And make sure to like this video if you want me to make more videos like this one, talking about Stoicism and all these deep concepts. And finally, if you commit to the work, you will be getting the results.